up, everybody? This is your girl, EJ.
What's up with it, my people? This your boy, FJ.
And we just want to talk. So, the question of the day is, should couples who are not married have joint bank accounts?
No! No.
Why not?
For what? For what? For what? What are we working towards? Let me ask that. Because I don't want to jump to the automatic no. What are we working towards? Do we see marriage in a couple years? Do we see opening up a business? Do we see what are we doing? What are we doing? We're not even married and we're opening up a joint checking account. What if I take all of your money?
So let me just back up, because you went in and you left me. You left me. You left me.
Let's go.
Okay, so you're saying no, but with stipulation? Like, are you saying like if we plan on getting married, if we are engaged?
I can see that. I can see that.
Okay.
I can see us having a joint checking account if we see marriage in the next 2 to 3 years.
But when you say see marriage, are we engaged?
No. We're going to say no. We're going to say we're not engaged. We're in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
Should we have joint accounts?
And you said yes if you see marriage.
I mean, now if we work, I would say, like I said, if we're not engaged.
Okay.
But if we're working towards that and if we see that marriage in the future, then I can understand. If we're opening up a business, I can understand.
Why are we opening up a business if we're not married?
You sure right.
So you say no, but with stipulations. If marriage is on the horizon,
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
But you still gotta have that in the back of your head. I mean, what if you're taking money out and not discussing it with me?
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm taking money out and I'm not discussing it with you? On top of us not even being in a relationship. So that could hurt.
On top of us not being married.
I'm sorry, on top of us not being married.
Mm.
So that could hurt us even getting married. So we may look at it and say, man, no. It ain't working. It ain't working like this, so why would it be any different if we get married?
So you bring up a good point about seeing the spending before marriage, which may or may not be a good thing. Now I was gonna say no. Like I still would say no. I don't think anyone who is not married should have a joint nothing. Like no car lease, no loan together. No, I don't think people who are not married should share a debt or a financial obligation at all.
So why is that? Why do you think that?
Because I feel like marriage is already like to me, some things should be saved for marriage. I feel like marriage is that spot where you do have joint accounts.
Yeah.
You do share insurance. You do share home loans, car loans. I feel like some things should just be saved for marriage when it comes down to sharing it between two people. If you're not married, I just feel like you shouldn't have like a financial shared obligation, especially when it's a toxic or dysfunctional relationship, and then you have to come down to, well, as soon as I get through paying these braces off, I'm leaving, instead of leaving when you want to leave, or you can't leave because there's some other financial obligation there. But with you saying what you said about seeing the spending habits, I feel like that is a benefit.
It is.
Of having a joint account before marriage, and that could possibly help you make some further decisions as it relates to that relationship. Because if we're sharing an account and you always buying shoes but you're not paying bills, that's something I would need to know before I marry you.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a good thing. But me personally, I would for sure say no. we could save that for marriage. But
I think it's a hard no for me, because you don't want to get, especially when you're dealing with money. People do not play about money. So if I'm taking money out this joint account that we're technically supposed to be using this account to go, because normally when you have a joint account, it's not always just to pay bills out of this account. Right,
that's true.
It may be a savings account. It may be an account something that you guys are using to work towards something, even though you're not married. And if you're spending from that account, or if I'm spending from that account, what will happen 10 years from now when we're trying to work towards a bigger goal? And I can't trust you at this level.
Yeah.
And now you're taking $200 and $300 out this account, like you said, to purchase shoes, or to do the newest outfit, or let's go on this vacation. So, or even just taking money out and putting it in your pocket for yourself, versus using what you have maybe in your personal account, or maybe cash that you may have. So you gotta be careful when you start, especially when you're single. I think you need to be careful when you open up those things, because you don't know which way it'll lead to.
I agree. For me, when you talk about relationships that could possibly lead to marriage, I feel like insight is always good. You better cross your legs.
That's what grown people do.
Come on, grown people. I feel like insight is always good. I just don't think at any cost. Like, it's, they say, no shacking. You're not supposed to live together before you get married, according to Christianity. But that's the only way you gonna know how nasty somebody really is. If they're filthy, do they take baths every day, or do they just be smelling good when you see them? You know what I'm saying? Do they really take baths? How they take care of their home. You can see more of how they interact with their family, because those relationships are important when you're getting ready to marry somebody. Yeah. How does he treat his mama? How does he talk to his mama?
That's very.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's important.
Even sex, and of course I know you're not supposed to talk about sex, but if you hold off on having sex before marriage, awesome, great. But that's the only way you gonna know what that sex is gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not encouraging premarital sex. I'm just saying insight.
That's real though.
So when you talk about money, when you talk about sexual compatibility, when you talk about how someone lives, insight is always good, but I don't think it's good at every cost. So I definitely would not have a joint bank account with anybody that's not my husband. So
it's impossible for me.
Yeah. Oh,
it's impossible.
You wouldn't get a joint account with your girlfriend?
No.
Why? It ain't none of her business?
Not that it's none of her business. I mean, because I'm not that type of person to say, oh, it ain't none of your business.
I am.
No, I am. No, I say that to, like, I'm not so big and so gun ho on saying, oh, this is none of your business.
I am. If it ain't none of your business, it ain't none of your business.
I just don't think I don't want you having control like that.
What if she doesn't want control? What if she just wants...
No. She may not have...
Why we keep saying she, and you got a wife?
They may not want control, but it is a point of having control, because you have access to that account. So you may not want control, but you have the access to control.
Right.
So if I say, hey, I'm finna swing by the bank, I don't have to let you know. I'm going to swing by the bank and get $300 out because me and the boys going out.
Right. Ooh, that's an expensive night. Where are you going out?
No, I'm just saying, for an example, instead of me using money that I have in my personal account, but I say, hey, I'm going to put mine to the side.
Right, and you're going to get $300 out of the joint account.
That's what I'm saying. So that brings about problems.
It does, because you have your own personal account. Why are you getting $300 out of the... See, and we're not married. We shouldn't have that argument.
And I don't want to go down that road.
I agree.
And the woman shouldn't have to go down that road either.
Neither is what you're saying.
Yes.
I also feel like another reason why you shouldn't is because I don't want anybody hovering over me about my financial purchases.
Yeah.
You know, with two people having access to the same account, I don't need you asking me why did I spend $50 at Ulta. I don't. that's not going. That's none of your business. You can't go in Ulta and not spend $50 anyway. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need you hovering over me. Why did you spend? Why did you get a combo meal? You could have got a 4 for $4.
But honestly, I wouldn't think that money for that spending would come out of that account.
That's what you think, but some people just have a shared account, and all of the money is there, and all of the spending is there. Now, ideally, you would have.
That's hard.
Ideally, when you get married, of course, I feel like many people have a joint account, but then they have their own individual account.
Because there is no way you should have all of your money going into one account, and then everybody is spending from this one pot.
Well, if nobody is telling you or giving you financial guidance, it is a easy possibility to where we just, we so in love. We because we got a bank account together. That's that you be so in love.
It'd be the absolute wrong thing.
Right, right. So you don't necessarily have the best guidance. You just know that you're in love, and so we have a joint account, and so it does happen like that to where all of the spending is coming out of the same account. But either way, I see the pro of getting a joint account, even if you're not married, because you do get insight on your partner's spending.
That's big though.
Yeah, but it's still a definite no for me. I don't want to share. No, because when we get married, we can do that. But right now, and I guess I'm more on the defense about it because I'm a woman, and with women, not with women, but stereotypically, I won't even say stereotypically. I often see where in relationships, women jump to being wives without necessarily being married. And so for me, it's just like, sis, hold on to whatever sense of individualism you have before you just kind of thrust yourself into the shadows of marriage, especially if you don't have a ring. Because we do, we date a guy and his mom, hey mother-in-law, hey sister-in-law. We do all these things for I guess the hope that marriage is on the way, including a bank account, and you lose your sense of self.
But that's what ends up happening though, when you do things like that.
Okay.
You end up never officially, by law, get married.
You don't kill nobody's dream like that.
No, I'm not killing nobody's dream. I promise you I'm not. I'm just saying that's how sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
And it's no knock against you. That's no knock against anybody. If that's what you choose to do, that's okay. But I'm just saying, for a simple act like that, is because now we've been together for 12, 13 years. A lot of times people say, what's the point?
And getting married.
Of getting married. Or even some people will say, well, dang, we've made it this far. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people live that way. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be up under the law of marriage, so we'll be married however you call it. I don't know how they call it, but I'm not. It's nothing wrong with that, because everybody have the right to do what they choose.
Of course.
But you gotta be careful, because things can become controlling, and people will say, well, what's the purpose of doing that now? We've been together for 100 years.
Right. What's the point of getting married?
Right.
Right. And so, and you're right, that type of behavior does lead someone to say, well, ain't no sense in getting married. We already, you know what I'm saying? It's like we already married anyway. When you do stuff like that. And
you already been having joint accounts. You already been doing all of these different
your
things.
Name and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing left,
do.
Right, for the marriage. So, to me, it's a for sure no under any circumstance. But at the same token, we're not relationship experts. So if it works for your relationship, then do what you do. But for me, it's a super easy no.
And I think you shouldn't have that much. That's a lot of power to have, especially when you're not married. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of people really understand how money will destroy people.
It will. It will. That was what, maybe the second cause of divorce
Somewhere
within
in
the
that area.
last couple years. Yeah.
And what's the point of putting that pressure on yourself?
Ooh.
Or giving yourself all these crazy feelings and anxiety if you don't have to?
That's good. You put the pressure on yourself. That's good.
We're not even married, so
yeah.
I think it's a firm no for me.
Okay. I agree. So, of course, we want to hear from you guys. Do you think that couples who are not married should have a joint banking account? Why or why not? Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. This is your girl EJ.
And this is your boy FJ.
And we just wanted to talk.
We just wanted to talk.